Dr. Daniel, it's so wonderful to have you on APNAO Conversations. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be on APNAO Conversation.
Children are having access to phones and they want to use WhatsApp or any of these messenger kind of an apps to communicate with their friends or their teachers. So is it safe to give them their own cell phone with WhatsApp, or how do we monitor their messages and the usage of phones?
Using this Google Family link, it's a very simple and effective way, and most of the thing, it is free, right? So when you buy a device or get a new device and you want to give it to your child, make sure that all contents in that are deleted. Just install your immediate and required family contacts only. If they want to add friends, better to create a friends group and add them into the group, right? And then you can be a silent listener in the group. So let them communicate without us interfering with them, but then we are somewhere in the background. Apart from this, WhatsApp is fine. YouTube has got a lot of content which is not classified properly, right? So the best thing what Google has done, what Android has done, and what iOS, including Facebook, has done is that they have started to classify all the content. So it is age appropriate. And so if you have a Gmail account with a child as an account holder, based on the age appropriate, it will show the content. By default, below 17 years, YouTube is not accessible in any device if you install the Google Family link. Only YouTube Kids is available, which is a pretty vetted out platform and very good. But the most foolproof way would be to start talking to your kids about security and about the importance of being safe and not conversing with strangers, not giving out details and pictures. This is another important feature which Google Family provides you, that when you set up the device for the kid, you can enable the option or disable the option to share the pictures. So if you disable, they are not able to share any pictures taken from the mobile device to anything.
That's an excellent feature. It always worries me because certain apps, they ask them to scan. Like there was one supermarket game that my kids were playing, and it asked for them to take pictures and share. I immediately told them to delete that app because I didn't want them to share any pictures.
When you set up the device, remove the location permission and disable the face tracking. Now, disabling the face tracking will also get rid of the feature of face-based detection. So they have to log in using a password of some kind, a number or some text. But it's better to do that than to lose out your biometric face data over the internet.
And how do we do this?
You can, once you have installed the application, you can go to the application setting, click whichever application, and under their permissions, you can disable the location, you can disable the access to the camera and the microphone.
Now, most of the religious organizations or entertainment industry, or even people having different clubs, they have started encouraging children to do their videos and share, or come online onto their Facebook page and do different activities. How safe is that?
There was a study, especially with respect to India, which was released that the pedophilia has increased, almost around 80% during the COVID time. When predators are online, they are triggered by certain behaviors and certain graphic images. So if the visual imagery is appealing to them, then their predatory aspect comes out, or else they are just put off. So what I would suggest is that with children, we need to encourage them to come out in a social setting rather than as an individual or an isolated place. let them use in the main hall, right, rather than go into the bedroom alone and then get the access on the net, because majority of these predators, uh, they are triggered by the visual image, and in the visual image, if there is an adult, it literally puts them off. They are not interested, they just move on.
I'm also concerned a little bit about the games, the video games. I heard that
Yes.
people can connect with children, posing as friends and playing games with them and also soliciting them.
Now, the games are a very complicated scenario today, especially with the virtual worlds and then the role playing games. So it's very, very difficult. I would say it's impossible to understand who a person is, because today anybody can impersonate anybody, and there is no sure short way to track that. Especially with games, there we are moved into a first person virtual reality games, right, where you can impersonate anything, you can have your avatar, you can become anything, and these are the places where majority of the times the predators lurk to uh, to catch, to catch kids, and then try to reel them, bait them, and utilize them. So monitoring games is difficult. uh, I would just say this is a big challenge. So at least in the technology front, we need to invest. We need to invest in firewalls, which will monitor and which will log every interaction, every communication, including the games.
Dr. Daniel, thank you so much for sharing such valuable information. Is this something that is really you feel has to be communicated to our people, to our viewers today? Would you take this time to tell them?
Children under 15 are still fine, right? We can still talk to them, we can still control them, but 15 and above is the category which is the most vulnerable and the most exploited online, because they have a lot of screen time, they have a lot of unmoderated screen time, and if proper guidance is not given, if uh, proper focus is not given to their mental health, then they get swayed into the gray zone. So I would say talking, making contact, on a regular basis, that's very important. And the best thing is for us to be patient, to understand, uh, and then to change our approach, right? They should not, with kids, with children, especially with teens, one approach doesn't work. It is about creating an environment of trust and understanding with love and compassion. So sometimes we need to give, sometimes we need to withhold, and it is easy for us uh, to be occupied, but for the children, that's not the case, right? They are totally confined. They have never been in this kind of a situation, isolated, without friends, without going out, uh, so it's more frustrating for them. So we need to look at it from their perspective and then build a bridge from them to us, not from us to them.
Those are such valuable words and amazing advice. Thank you, Dr. Daniel, once again. And we do hope that it's a blessing to all those who tuned in and watching this today.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me. It has been such a wonderful time.
Please like, share, and comment on this topic. What are the apps or privacy settings you use? Please share on this comment space so others can benefit from the information. So until next time, this is PEARL GANTA from Apnao-Nayee Soch, Naya Jeevan.
अपने कदम बढ़ाओ आओ अपनाओ